Hi everyone, this is E.M.P, Electromagnetic Precursors for Earthquakes. So there's been a few articles coming out lately on extremely high energy X-rays that NASA or basically any space agency around the world can't seem to explain. And they sent up a rocket in 2012 to try to solve the so-called mystery of these energy particles that come into our solar system and eventually impinge upon Earth. Now, it's funny, their explanation. Let's see if we can find it down here. So they think they basically found the explanation, which is X-rays must come from a local hot bubble, proving that it exists, in their own words. That's freaking hilarious, their explanation. That's literally their own words right there, if you don't believe me. Of course, there's no empirical evidence whatsoever of this so-called local hot bubble, but that's what they're saying. And right here too. At higher energies, these sources contribute less than a quarter of the X-ray emission, and Upreti, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but sorry guy, but anyways. Lead author on the study and an astrophysicist at University of Miami at the time the research was concluded. So there's an unknown source of X-rays in the energy range. Now, these X-rays must originate somewhere near our solar system. There's got to be a source. Of course, there's got to be a source. And of course, they're talking about electrons here, which of course I've talked about electrons already in a previous video. Just ignore that. So I think that around 10 million years ago, a supernova exploded. Once again, they don't even really know what a supernova actually is, let alone how it actually works. Supernova exploded and ionized the gas of a local hot bubble. Yeah, okay, they'll talk about ionized gas, which plasma is sort of, but once again, it all comes down to fundamental errors at every level, basically. If you have an extremely ionized gas, it's electrified plasma. There's no way that it couldn't be with such an extremely ionized gas, and the actual acceleration is electrical. These are double layers, these so-called local hot bubbles, but this goes all the way back, once again, to the legendary godfather of plasma physics, Hannes Alfvén, who was completely ignored and warned all these retarded space Nazis that if they don't pay attention to what he's saying, they will literally go into the land of insanity with their theories. There's no evidence for this so-called local hot bubble. Hannes Alfvén, on the other hand, had tons and tons, was doing plasma experiments to show that it was a double layer and should be considered as a new acceleration mechanism for charged particles in space. But of course, it just made too much sense, and out here in the West, with the NASA F-tards, don't want to listen to common sense, and that's not where the funding is going, so it's completely ignored as per usual. So I think they kind of solved it with this local hot bubble theory and a supernova, but they don't know what it is or how either of these work. Pretty sad and pathetic, yep, but that's per usual with the space Nazis, aka NASA. They can't explain shit, so no surprise there. At least they're saying here that the solar wind, well, they mention electric, but solar wind can carry electric and magnetic fields. Solar wind is an electric field. So the way they phrase things is just beyond retarded. Like, who are they trying to fool here? And let's just move on to. So they can't find. Well, they think they found the source, but local hot bubble. Are you kidding me? And then there was this other article here released too, which is showing a supernova, but once again they don't know the intrinsics of how it works and what the actual mechanism is of acceleration. It's electricity, double layers, electric fields. It always comes back to the electric force, which they always exclude from their theories. And then they wonder why they can't figure out shit. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but here I am doing my best. And another really interesting thing, this is really big, guys, is that last gamma ray burst, GRB, this is on the sky map, was on September the 17th, and we had nothing reported for over a week after the 17th. So you can see here on the Swift site, which monitors gamma ray bursts, it's the GRB on the 17th, and then literally nothing officially reported up until 26th, and then we have another one. So that's over a week with nothing reported. Now this is really interesting because I monitor the gamma rays impinging upon the ionosphere on a daily basis. Well, when I'm in town, I've been out of town for last week, and was back to work right after that. So, but here I am doing what I do with E.M.P. And so here's gamma rays. Oops, sorry, that's later in the month. So gamma rays from September the 15th up till the 25th, and you can see that we have these spikes. Usually, as I've shown, we usually have these S curves, especially here just before we have the ionospheric intervals of capacitance at 100. Now it doesn't always land at that time, but the S curve in general is there. And here we go, is another chart for the gamma rays, and you can see that since the 17th of September, a neutron count of 28,000 gamma rays, neutrons, basically the same thing. Once you start getting over the 28,000 neutron count level, that's extremely elevated. And like I showed you before, there's literally nothing reported officially from after the 17th. So from the 18th all the way up to the 26th, nothing reported. Well, what the hell is this? This is China's neutron monitor. And we got neutron counts peaking over 28,500 here. Then on the 25th, it's literally hitting 29,000. That's insanely effing high. Like, and you're not reporting this shit. So it's really, hard not to come to the conclusion that, USGS and other earthquake reporting agencies fail to report earthquakes almost on a daily basis, if not a daily basis. And now I would have to say it looks like we're having gamma ray bursts, GRBs that are reported for long periods of time, literally over a week. Like, what the hell is going on, guys? Like, get your shit together. I'm just trying to find the list for, close that thing, it's slowing down the internet so bad. Show you the list for the, okay, so I really had to dig for this data, but here it is. I've been looking for this for a long time because as I said, really expected that there was GRBs or gamma ray bursts that weren't being reported, and here we go, gamma ray bursts from the here's observed gamma ray bursts from the 16th going forward in September, and you can see not just one or two, but many gamma ray bursts here that they failed to report officially, all the way up to the 22nd of September there, and go further down, another one there on the 21st, the 23rd, and the 25th. So like, I'm not exaggerating when I say get your shit together and tell us what's going on. Like, gamma ray bursts are literally the most powerful so-called bursts. As I've explained numerous times, they're dielectric, radial dielectric discharges, and they're definitely not officially reporting these. And when these things hit, as you've seen in previous videos, the 0100 universal time integral of ionospheric capacitance or charging happens when we get this influx of gamma rays, and this was on the 25th. You can see just before the 0100 universal time integral, there's a peak there. On the 22nd, and there we go once again, a peak there in gamma rays or dielectric discharging just before the interval, as per usual. So I think that pretty much rests my case that, you know, we're not being told or the full story of what's really going on with the gamma ray bursts. And you know, this video I just want to do a short one because this was huge news with the gamma rays. But on the 25th, when one of the largest earthquakes of the day was magnitude 5.4 south of Chromatic Islands. So close by we had charging or ionospheric capacitance near there. Here we go again, 25th, you can see spike there with the ionospheric capacitance interval, and then shooting up again there, literally at the same time as we had that earthquake in Chromatic Islands. This is on the 22nd of September. Huge amount of ionospheric charging going on there. Right there is where Chromatic Islands would be, so right overhead of that area, days before the earthquake. And just to show you, here's neutron monitors globally, and see, this is why I was also getting suspicious about gamma rays not being officially reported. This is on the 24th of September once again, and I was seeing this numerous times, that you would see this huge spikes of neutrons or dielectric discharging right off the top of the chart, and big discharging there again at Spain. This was at Russia, purple spikes, And then also another sign that gamma rays were hitting our ionosphere were you get tons of whole pile of stations just dropping data there at the same time. And I noticed this this pattern that we get these outages. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Sorry. Yeah, we get these outages, data drop here, and these huge neutron spikes, dielectric discharging, and there would be no gamma ray bursts reported for a week, if not longer, before this. And that's why I started wondering what's going on and started searching for the data, and there you have it. So here's Beijing, where we had gamma rays going off just before the magnetometer went crazy, and then boom, we had the earthquake just after 0400, and then New Zealand's magnetometer for the 25th, just before the huge magnetic disturbance. So magnetometers, remember, measure ground level magnetic perturbations, and that's a huge one there, where you see a data break like that right there, and then there's a spike there at the time of the earthquake. It's just a huge disturbance. And there's more data for the magnetometer. So very easy to see what's going on there. So that's all I really wanted to show now, to show you what's going on with the gamma ray bursts. This is E.M.P, electromagnetic precursors for earthquakes. Remember that you saw all this data here first, folks. Take care. Thanks for watching. Peace.